Good evening. The evening news. I am Mariam Ahmad. The federal government has put its two-decade-old Boeing 773 to 700 business jets up for sale, with the listing hosted by Amac Aerospace in Basel, Switzerland. The aircraft, acquired for $43 million in 2005 during former President Olusegun Obasanjo's tenure, is being sold months after President Bola Tinubu transitioned to a refurbished Airbus A330-200 last month amid economic concerns. According to Aviation Marketplace Controller, the plane had undergone inspections and maintenance in preparation for sale. Nigeria's presidential air fleet, overseen by the Nigerian Air Force and the Office of the National Security Advisor, has about 10 aircraft. 3 of the 7 fixed wings are reportedly unserviceable. Osun State government has reiterated its commitment to the creation of a more conducive business environment to attract investment and drive economic growth in the state. The Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development, Professor Adeleke, reiterated this at the technical session and state town hall meeting organized by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council under the State Action Business Sampling Reforms (SABA). Oluchi Amuda has more of the story.
The train of the nationwide tour organized by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council (PBEC) to drive the ease of doing business reforms across all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory arrived in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. The program, under the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms, featured a technical session and town hall meetings, which provided a platform for stakeholders to engage with government officials, share experiences, and propose reforms to ease business operations. Shedding more light on the motive behind the event, the Director General of PBEC, Princess Zara Mustafa Audru, stated that the goal is to create a more conducive environment, attract investment, and drive economic growth across Nigeria. She commended the Osun State government for keying into the SABA program to promote its business environment in spite of not participating in getting loans from the agency.
Yes, they may not be participating actively in terms of accessing the funds, but they have been very proactive in implementing some of the policies. And more important for us, it's important that we extend some of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies at the national level to the subnational level. We're trying to embed the principles in our 8 points agendas, all the principles around job creation, investment promotion, and this is why we're here. We want a system where businesses are able to express their discomfort or their challenges, so we need that to be more transparent. We need the businesses to be able to know where to go to when they have challenges. Of course, we have Report.gov at the national level, so yes, they can continue to utilize PBEC if you go on the PBEC website.
In his opening remarks, the Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development, Professor Adeleke, stated that Osun State government, under the leadership of Governor Adeleke, has embarked on numerous interventions in all phases of the state economy to enhance infrastructural development, boost the ease of doing business, and attract investment. He noted that the state remains committed to implementing several programs without participating in taking loans.
The basis of what we call SABA, State Action on Business Enabling Reform, is that when states doing things in terms of providing enabling environment for businesses, they will be supported by the World Bank. However, this support is going to be in terms of loan, such that whatever you have taken from the World Bank will have to be paid back. But Mr. Governor has made a pronouncement that rather than add to the debt profile of Osun State, we would rather reduce the debt profile. So we will continue to make business environment conducive for businesses and investment. However, we will not take that low so that we don't increase the debt profile of the state.
Speaking in the same vein, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Economic Planning, Budget and Development, and the state focal person, Mrs. Yetunde Ese, explained some of the reforms Osun State has embarked upon to boost ease of doing business.
Osun has a one-stop harmonized bill. So what this means is that the taxes and levies of the state is not being taken by just multiple platform. You have a single platform in which, if you want to pay your tax and levy, it is just a demand notice, just one demand notice that is taken to a business, and the business is able to pay once and for all. Again, you have an enabling environment for you to be able to come and have access to land. At the Ministry of Lands, for you to get a CFO, after you might have got your survey clearance and your tax clearance, it takes only 45 days.
The event also provided an opportunity for participants to ask questions about the activities of the agency and how they can benefit from them. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Also, Osun State government says it will continue to prioritize the health needs of Osun people by ensuring that unlicensed patent medicine vendors are not allowed to operate in the state. The Commissioner for Health, Mr. Jola Akintola, stated this through the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Isiaka Adekunle, at the orientation course organized for newly licensed patent medicine vendors in Osun State. Oluchi Amuda has more of the story.
The orientation program for newly licensed patent medicine vendors in Osun State, organized by the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, PCN, in collaboration with the Patent and Proprietary Medicine Vendors License Committee, provided a platform for the regulatory bodies to sensitize the newly licensed members on the rules and regulations guiding the practice of their profession. While declaring the orientation program open, the Osun State Commissioner for Health, Mr. Jola Akintola, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Isiaka Adekunle, implored the new vendors to contribute their quota to the healthcare services in Osun State by abiding by the rules of engagement as public health defenders. He maintained that government will continue to monitor their activities to ensure that no one runs foul of the law.
Many people applied for this license, but very few of them have the privilege of being granted. And these ones that are given this license should just make proper use of it. They should not handle the drug they are not supposed to handle. They should not treat in the kind of drug that they are not supposed to treat in, and they should not do bad habits that will make them to run foul of the law of the state.
In his address, the Registrar, Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, Mr. Ibrahim Babashehu, who was represented by Mr. Kayode Atere, stated that the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria is an agency of the federal government committed to ensuring the provision of sustainable pharmaceutical regulatory services for the well-being of the populace. According to him, the PCN recognizes patent and proprietary medicine vendors are important stakeholders in the healthcare delivery system at the primary level because both public and private health facilities are inadequate to meet the needs of Nigerians. He maintained that the license holders are expected to attend continuing education program at least once in every 2 years.
The Pharmacy Council is a federal government agency, and we are charged with the responsibility of ensuring quality pharmaceutical services through the instrumentality of capacity building. And so this orientation program is one of the ways to enhance the practice of the patent medicine vendors. So whoever is given license by the federal government should be somebody that is qualified to handle simple household remedies, not to endanger the lives of the public.
Also speaking, the Director of Pharmaceutical Services, Ministry of Health, Mr. Razak Saliu, appealed to the vendors to practice ethically and within the scope of their license to avoid losing their license.
They have been screened and the selection process has been done when they did an interview and exam and before the selection was done. So they are here now to know the scope of the activities, what they can do, and by inference what they cannot do, and the penalties involved if they are found wanting doing what they are not supposed to do. We have talked to a series of lectures, about 9 lectures, giving an overview of the patent medicine story since 18th, 17th century up to date in Nigeria.
Some of the newly licensed patent medicine vendors who spoke with OSBC News appreciated the efforts of all the stakeholders in equipping them with the necessary information needed to excel in their fields of endeavor. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
The role of information technology cannot be overemphasized in the task of nation building, as it is the pillar for economic growth and society's survival. Permanent Secretary, Osun State Ministry of Education, Mr. Muritala Jimo, stated this at the 2025 graduation ceremony of High-Tech Development School, Ilesha. Soya Onoride completes the story.
Graduation ceremony of high-tech development charity took place amid pomps and pageantry at the school premises in Ilesha, reflecting on the importance of vocational training for youth in Nigeria. The permanent secretary of Osun State Ministry of Education, Mr. Muritala Jimo, represented by the Zonal Inspector of Education, Ilesha, Mrs. Rachel Alarade, explored the importance of vocational training, stressing that it is pertinent for all to embrace vocational education. Mrs. Alarade disclosed that the state government recognized the pivotal role of information technology vocational training in nation building, noting that the State Ministry of Education is relentless in collaborating with organizations to encourage students in acquiring knowledge in information technology vocational training. In the same vein, Professor Olusegun Akanbi, who spoke on the importance of vocational training and youth empowerment, explored in depth the critical roles of vocational training in preparing individuals for skilled employments that fosters economic independence, while commending the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Mr. Agbola Fayose, and the management for their ingenuity in piloting the affairs of the school. The program coordinator, Mr. Magnus Ogunseyin, urged the graduating students to continue to work hard in their studies for a better future.
It is a wonderful day, a reward for their sacrifices. So I congratulate them, I felicitate with them. I also want to congratulate their parents, because this is the first step on a very bright future for their students, and use this opportunity to encourage them, to support them. Yeah, the country is difficult to cope with, but whatever sacrifices they can make to enable these ones continue on this path, it will be worth it. So, and I also give thanks to God for making it possible for us to have great minds, like the CEO, the board of directors, who came together and made the sacrifice to make this day special. So we hope to continue to see this wonderful experience happen in the town of Ilesha.
Two of the graduating students, Chukwu and Nyojuade, expressed determination to pursue their studies in information technology vocational training to a profitable height.
I'm so happy for the certificate I just got. I look forward to go for it. I'm so glad that I'm graduating today and be proud of myself. I plan to create more games with my certificates.
High point of the occasion were acknowledgement of outstanding students and trainers performed through virtual NIC by the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Agbola Fayose, in the United States. Presentation of awards and certificates to deserving staff and students, with 80 graduating students presented with certificates. Sanya Onoride, reporting for OSBC News.
Management and staff of Osun State Council for Arts and Culture has described the demise of the Executive Secretary of the Council, Olori Solape Abolarin, as an irreplaceable loss to the entire cultural community. As our light will continue to shine in the policies she helped, shaped, and the lives she uplifted. Chairman Council of Arts and Culture, Honorable Ebenezer Adeniji, stated this at a special tribute program organized to honor the memory of the late Olori Solape Abolarin. Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
It was a day of sober reflection for the management and staff of Osun State Council for Arts and Culture as they converged to honor the memory of their executive secretary, Olori Solape Abolarin, who departed to the great beyond. The people expressed their sorrows in songs and words. In his tribute, the chairman, Council for Arts and Culture, Honorable Ebenezer Adeniji, said the late Olori Sholakpe was a pillar and soul of the Secretariat who discharged her responsibility with dignity and an uncommon humility that earned her the respect and affection of all who worked with her.
A fantastic woman, a very nice little woman. Our relationship has even turned from official to blood relationship. She was dutiful, respectful, humble, and a very super workmate. It was very painful, too painful, honestly. Up to now, it's still a miracle to me.
Similarly, the Director of Administration and Supply, Mrs. Adeleke Akinloye, the sister of the deceased, Mrs. Christiana Afolabi, and other staffers of the council described the late Olori as a selfless mother who never discriminated against anyone.
She had a kind heart, always ready to help, always ready to assist. She was a good boss.
We really missed her a lot.
There are times that she will just ask you things that correlate with what you are going through. She's really a good person, and may her soul rest in peace.
In his remarks, the Honorable of Okela, Oba Adedokun Abolare, who was accompanied by the Alapom of Akpom, Oba Kayode Afolabi, expressed appreciation to the management of Council for Arts and Culture for honoring the memory of his beloved wife. He noted that the void created by her demise will be difficult to fill.
She belonged to the Asian regime, the old order. You know, not for a day did she fight me. No matter how little the amounts given to her, you know, she never complained. My wife never complained. She was like me. She was ebullient. She was flamboyant. She was down to earth. I'm not surprised because she was a daughter of a clergy.
Olori Sholakpe Abolare was born on June 21, 1973, and held the position of an Executive Secretary, Council for Arts and Culture, till her demise. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
With that, we have come to the end of the evening news on OSBC TV. Join us at 7 for Dateline. Thanks for watching. Good evening.